There is something extraordinary about the death of certain popes throughout history. If you look closely at the patterns, you might notice something that could easily go unnoticed. It is a strange coincidence that several popes passed away around the time of Easter, the season that marks the resurrection of Jesus Christ. This phenomenon raises many questions. Could there be a deeper meaning to these events? Why do these deaths seem to happen around the same time of the year, during such a sacred period for Christians? One of the most notable examples of this is the death of Pope John Paul II. On April 2, 2005, just a day before Easter Sunday, the world learned of his passing. His death at this time was not just a coincidence, but it left people wondering about the significance of this event. Pope John Paul II was one of the most beloved popes of the modern era, and his death felt like a monumental moment for many believers around the world. To make matters even more intriguing, it came right before Easter, the most important celebration in the Christian faith. This connection between the death of popes and Easter is not a new idea. In fact, there have been many instances throughout the years where popes have passed away during this season. Could it be a sign that something greater is at play? Does it hold a prophetic meaning for the Catholic Church or for the world as a whole? These are the kinds of questions that many people have asked when reflecting on this strange pattern. What makes it even more intriguing is the fact that these deaths often happen during times of great uncertainty or change within the Church. The death of Pope John Paul II wasn't the only time such a coincidence occurred. There have been other popes throughout history whose deaths have been linked to significant moments in the Christian calendar, especially during the period of Easter. Some people believe that these events may be part of a divine plan that only God truly understands. Whether or not we can fully grasp the reasons behind these occurrences, they have left a lasting impact on the Church and its followers. They remind us that life and death are not just a part of the natural cycle, but may also carry a deeper meaning in the context of the Church's journey. Another interesting element to consider is the connection between these papal deaths and the prophecies of Sister Lucia. Sister Lucia was one of the 3 children who witnessed the famous Fatima apparitions in 1917. These apparitions were said to be a series of visions given by the Virgin Mary to the 3 children. Over the years, Sister Lucia became a prominent figure in the Catholic Church, and her writings and messages have been studied by many. In her writings, she shared messages about the future of the Church and the world, some of which have raised questions about the end times. One of the most significant aspects of Sister Lucia's messages was her warning about the changes the Church would face. She spoke of a time when the Church would undergo great struggles and trials. Many people have speculated that these struggles could be related to events like the death of popes, shifts in Church leadership, or other significant occurrences that challenged the Church's direction. Sister Lucia's messages seem to point to a time of great upheaval and transformation. Could the deaths of popes after Easter be part of this larger picture? Are these deaths and the timing of them somehow linked to the prophecies of Sister Lucia and others who have warned about the state of the Church? Some people believe that these deaths, particularly those that occur after Easter, are not random. Instead, they think that these events are part of a larger divine plan that we cannot fully understand. This belief suggests that the deaths of popes are not simply a matter of coincidence, but are instead connected to a greater purpose. Perhaps these events are meant to remind the faithful of the fragility of life, the need for repentance, and the importance of living a life in accordance with God's will. The timing of these deaths could also be seen as a call for reflection and renewal, particularly during the sacred season of Easter. Sister Lucia's prophecies have always been a subject of great interest and mystery. Her warnings about the future of the Church have often been interpreted in different ways. Some believe that her messages are a call to action, urging the faithful to prepare for a time of trial and tribulation. Others view her words as a reminder of the importance of faith and prayer in times of uncertainty. Regardless of how one interprets Sister Lucia's messages, it is clear that she spoke of a future in which the Church would face challenges and difficulties. Some of these challenges could very well be related to the deaths of popes and the leadership transitions that have occurred over the years. The deaths of popes after Easter may also be connected to the idea of spiritual renewal. Easter is a time of resurrection and new life, a time when Christians remember the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The passing of a pope during this season could be seen as a reminder that the Church, like all of us, goes through cycles of life and death. Each pope brings something unique to the Church, but ultimately the Church continues on, adapting and evolving with the times. The death of a pope could symbolize the end of one era and the beginning of another, a reminder that the work of the Church is ongoing and that God's plan for the world continues to unfold. Another perspective to consider is the idea that these papal deaths could be part of a larger cosmic plan. Some believe that these events are not just significant in the context of the Catholic Church, but that they may have broader implications for the world as a whole. The timing of these deaths could be a reflection of larger spiritual forces at work, forces that are beyond human understanding. The deaths of popes after Easter might be seen as a sign that the Church is moving toward a new phase, one that will involve great change and transformation. The connection between the death of popes and the prophecies of Sister Lucia raises many questions about the future of the Catholic Church. Are we approaching a time of great upheaval, as Sister Lucia warned? Will the Church face challenges that it has never encountered before? The deaths of popes, especially those that occur after Easter, may be a sign that we are entering a new chapter in the Church's history. This chapter could be one of great trial and transformation, but it could also be one of renewal and hope. Regardless of how we interpret these events, it is clear that they hold significant meaning for the faithful and for the world. In conclusion, the deaths of popes, particularly those that occur after Easter, are events that have captured the attention of many people throughout history. These events are not just random occurrences, but may be part of a larger divine plan that we are still trying to understand. The prophecies of Sister Lucia and other figures within the Church may offer some insight into the deeper meaning of these events. As we reflect on the timing of these deaths and the messages of Sister Lucia, we are reminded of the fragility of life, the importance of faith, and the need for spiritual renewal. The passing of a pope after Easter could be a sign that the Church is entering a new phase, one that will require deep faith and perseverance from all believers.